Boy, do I have a confession.
For years now, I've been publishing my beer recipes on the internet. I even pass them along to Atlantic Brew Supply, who sell them as pre-built kits.
But there's something you should know. Those recipes are a lie, a figment of my imagination, because the recipe that I publish is not the recipe that I brew.
See these recipes? For every one, I have a second secret version, and that's the one I actually brew.
Let me explain. It's finally time to come clean.
When I publish a recipe, I usually incorporate two constants: that the batch size is 5 gallons or 19 litres, and that the process involves a 60-minute boil with hops timed accordingly. Those two things really fit with convention. Most recipes are 5 gallons and most use a 60-minute boil, so, well, I went with it. But I stopped brewing 5-gallon batches long ago. Sometimes I even fess up to that.
I'm brewing a 3-gallon batch.
So one thing I do with each secret second recipe is convert it to a 3-gallon batch. That's easy enough. Then I'll tidy up the amounts to keep things from being too weird. 3-gallon batches suit me much better given the amount I'm brewing, so no shame with that.
The other thing I do is something that I haven't mentioned, and the reason is, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit concerned about the reaction. But my secret is, I boil for 30 minutes. There, I said it.
For ages now, I've done away with the 60-minute boil, and I'm not alone. David Heath Homebrew put out a video recently saying he does the same thing.
This saves me a ton of time, like 30 minutes, every frigging time I brew, which, as I think I mentioned, is quite often. But am I compromising the quality of my beer? Let's see.
So, 60-minute boils are needed to keep the wort sanitary. Well, firstly, 30 minutes is more than enough for that, and in fact a boil is not required at all. I've even brewed a few no-boil beers. We just need the wort to be pasteurized, and that happens at 60 Celsius or 140 Fahrenheit.
And you know when the wort is at or above 140 Fahrenheit? During the mash.
By the way, there's a measurement for this called a pasteurization unit, or PU. For every minute the beer is held at 60 Celsius, it is said to be subject to 1 PU. And 15 PUs is more or less the industry standard, so after a 15-minute mash, you're good. Something called flash pasteurization occurs at 72 C or 162 Fahrenheit. 30 seconds at this temperature is equivalent to 15 minutes at 60 Celsius or 15 PUs. So if you mash out, you're flash pasteurizing. 60-minute boils are needed to add hop bitterness. So yes and no. The bitterness we perceive from hops happens with the isomerization of alpha acids. The longer the contact period of boiling wort and hops, the more bitterness is imparted. This process also drives off volatile oils that contain flavor and aroma.
So if our hops are only in the boiling wort for 30 minutes, do we risk getting too little bitterness and leaving some hop oils that will contribute to flavor? Well, it's true that if you are only boiling for 30 minutes over 60 minutes, you will need to add more bittering hops to get to the same level of IBU.
Fortunately, that's easily adjusted in brewing software. I'll note the IBU contribution a bittering hop addition will make at 60 minutes, and then in my 30-minute recipe, bump that hop quantity up to match a similar amount of bitterness. Am I imparting a little more hop flavour in the 30-minute boil than the 60? Probably yes. So to counter that, I'll either pick a neutral hop like Magnum, or bitter with a hop that I'm going to use for flavour or aroma anyway.
If 30-minute boils mean I'm not boiling off as much hop flavour, well, I'm okay with that.
60-minute boils are needed to drive off DMS. Actually, a lot of lagers using Pilsner malt will specify a 90-minute boil for this purpose.
90 stinking minutes. Who has time for that? And if you really are concerned about that cooked corn off flavor of DMS, well, rather than boiling for longer, you might want to consider your fermentation temperature. Just make sure that you ramp up your fermentation temperature a couple of degrees near the end. That way you'll drive off any DMS, which is much more likely to come from the yeast than it is from movie length boils. In my experience, smaller batch sizes mean that I'm just on to the next keg of freshly brewed beer a bit quicker, and then shorter boils mean that my brew day is done a bit quicker as well. So from here on in, I'm going to be publishing the real 3-gallon, 30-minute boil recipes and not the made-up ones. And look, I'm really curious to know, what are you doing in this area too? Have you reduced your batch size and reduced your boil time? And if so, what has been the effect? Let me know.